So every now and then, there's a camera there as well, just so you...
Hello!
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the CM Radio podcast. This is episode 3, and I'm joined this time with my good friend, David. I tried to say your wrestling name, but I couldn't remember it.
El Davo.
El Davo, that's it. So David is one of my good friends. He's into this just as much as I am, which is pretty good. It's refreshing. And in today's episode, we're going over building confidence and dealing with insecurities. And I'm not saying you have any insecurities. What I'm saying is you can talk.
I can talk.
And I think you have a good insight on this, sort of being a larger guy in the gym and having to deal with stairs.
Was that a fat joke?
No. You're really muscly. So people were envious of you. But do you get what I mean? Like, I'm small, I'm 5'3", I'm relatively skinny.
Yeah.
So when we both started the gym, I think there was kind of a similarity between us, but different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. I started the gym, I was bigger than I am. I was fatter. I never really got confronted about it, and I never really noticed it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because it took me a long while to get to where I am today, of a point of I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah.
Like, can I swear on this or not?
You can swear on this.
Sick.
If you want.
I don't give a fuck what people think about me.
Oh, you can't say that.
Like,
word.
oh shit.
Fuck! I just said it again.
Oh fuck.
God damn it.
No, I don't give a fuck what people think about me now. Like, it's taken me a long time to get there.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, but I'm now there, so I don't care what people think about it. And when I first came into the gym, I didn't notice it because I was one of these people. It was like headphones in, like get my head down, do my work.
Yeah.
Now,
and sort of just zone everything out.
Yeah, pretty much. I was there for me. I wasn't there for anyone else. Like,
yeah.
You know, whatever. But I mean, I can definitely see where you're coming from. Like, that you do get people, like, people are shallow. People are assholes.
Yeah,
like,
I think a lot of the reason that people don't sort of, other than like the lack of motivation and not knowing what to do and the lack of knowledge, I think a lot of the reason that people don't get into fitness is because they're nervous about going into the gym. When I was working at 24/7 as a PT, we had a women's only section. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
Up the stairs.
Yeah.
The amount of women that are like clients that I used to get that were women that would only ever train in that section because of the judgmental stares that they thought they got.
Yeah.
Was incredible, and it happens a lot. It was with men as well. And with
I
males.
mean, it's definitely, like, I would say it's worse for women.
Yeah, massively.
Because as much as I say people are assholes, guys are assholes. Yeah. Like, if there's a girl in the gym and she's deadlifting or she's squatting and she's in a weight room and there's like 6 dudes in there, 5 out of 6 of those guys are most likely going to be staring at her.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like, and then you might get the 1 or 2 that are like, oh no, hun, you're doing that wrong. You need to do it this way. And like, they're quarter squatting like 135, and you're like, what are you doing, mate?
I literally saw that the other day. Someone doing squats of like 160 kilos, including the bar, and he was going like down, but it wasn't the fact that he was stopping before parallel, it was the fact that he was stopping halfway to 45 degrees.
Yeah, you just sort of see him like push their hips back a little bit and then stand right back up. It's like, lower
we
the
don't
weights.
judge. We don't judge. We're just critiquing.
Well.
But I judge. But no, that is a massive reason. A good point about like how women, because the gym that I train at now, it's like you walk in, there's just a massive open weights area, and it's like you don't get many women in there. But when you do, it's literally like everyone's head turns, just follows them, and I'm like, and I get really like, I don't know if I'm the only person, but I'll almost, if I see a girl in the weights room, I'll almost purposely try and make myself stare away, which then in turn to her probably makes her think that I'm trying not to be obvious, but I'm I'm not here for you.
Yes.
But there's such a stigma around looking that I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
But now it looks like I'm not doing it because I have looked.
Yeah. And then and like I'm the same way. If there's a girl working out, I am consciously trying not to look at her, because I mean I do it with everybody. If there's anybody working out, I'm consciously trying not to look at anyone. But women specifically, because I know how much, like, if there's a girl in the weights area, more power to her, because it's taken a lot for her to get in there. Be it a week, be it a month, be it a year, whatever. It's taken a lot for her to get in there. But like, to have people just like stare at you just because you're in a weights area.
Yeah, it's a bit off-putting.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't agree with it, but it happens. I think just needs to be more women in weights areas.
Yeah.
And then eventually, big trend heads will stop going, ladies, and then they'll just go, oh, there's lots of ladies. I'll just go bang my chest on this bench. Like, yeah, and just like, because that's what bugs me. Like, is when you've got guys that are like.
Do you think that's another sort of another reason why a lot of men, specifically now men, feel a little bit insecure? Is that when they go into weights rooms and you hear all these sort of men grunting and stuff like that, it kind of puts them off. For me, it never did.
I mean, for me, it never did because, like I said, I just had headphones on, straight down, let's go, and like I'm in the strength game anyway. So when I lift heavy, yes, I grunt. It's heavy, like. But I feel like a lot of insecurities from in the gym come from not understanding things. So if you're first in the gym and you see someone and they're grunting and they're like slamming weights around and generally being like obnoxious.
Yeah, them
like,
guys.
There could be a reason that they're doing that. Like, for instance, they are doing a 200 kilo deadlift or whatever. So they could be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this heavyweight, so I'm going to grunt, I'm going to slam it round, but it's not like necessarily a reflection of them.
Yeah.
So that's a misunderstanding on the person who feels insecure's part, because they're just seeing them grunting around and thinking that that's them. They're taking that snapshot of them going, oh, well, that person's a dick because he's throwing stuff around and he's grunting and he's being loud and obnoxious.
I understand chucking weight down, like especially in a deadlift. If you've just pulled a 1 rep max, throw it down. Like, that's fine.
To a point, I will always.
If you can't control it on the way down, then that's
yeah. I mean, I will
topic.
always. Yeah, I mean, I will always say, it's like with a competition lift, you follow the weight down.
Oh yeah, no, hands down. You need to control it 100% all the way.
So there is no excuse for these people that lift a weight up, throw it on the floor. Like,
we're calling you out, Max. I've seen your videos.
It's his own equipment, so if he's doing it to his own equipment, then that's
why
fine.
He didn't reach his that's why he didn't max out or beat his overall on last competition. Throw the weights down, man.
No, but like, it's like, so if you're doing it with someone else's equipment, it's just disrespectful.
Oh yeah.
And the thing that really gets me is like, when you're doing a deadlift on it and whatnot, that's fine. Like, you're gonna slam your weights down because it's heavy, and it's going from your hips to the floor. However, if you're doing 50 kilo dumbbells, you're doing a chest press on it, you've just done 12 reps and you've smashed them out, there is no need to throw them on the floor.
It's going to rip your shoulders out of your joints at some point as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with bringing it onto your chest and then
sitting up, putting them down.
Fucking sit up. Can you not do a sit up?
And like, you put them on the floor. It's just respectful. Like, I hate it when I see people doing any kind of weight and then throwing the weights down on the floor. It's disrespectful and it's douchey.
Yeah. You're a douche.
But, I mean, I think we've kind of like sidetracked away from insecurities and stuff.
But I think that all comes under it. If you do see people doing that in the gym, it does.
Yeah, you can kind of be like, oh, well, shit, I don't really.
Like loud noises for a lot of people as well. But like, for you then, what do you believe? Well, before we got into that, like when I first started in the gym, like I've never been insecure about going into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you knew me when I first started training, just imagine me now, but even smaller, which is pretty impossible than I am now. When I first started training, I've never been insecure in that sense about going into the gym and lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I first started, because I kind of had sort of a personal trainer from the fitness coach there teach me a lot of stuff, so I kind of knew what I knew, or knew what I needed to know. And I think that's another one: lack of knowledge creates insecurities. But even as a small guy, it never really bothered me. But I know a lot of people that it does. One of my friends that trains at the place that I work is he's maybe an inch taller than me, but he's basically my physique when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a lot of issues with it. He has a membership with Portsmouth Uni gym, but he rarely ever goes unless he's with someone who's relatively got a decent physique or knows what they're doing, because he's a small guy and he says that he doesn't want to work out and doesn't want to fail or make a mistake in front of all these new guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that a lot of people do is compare their chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20.
Yes,
it's
definitely.
Like me trying to compare my strength to you.
Yeah.
Well, you've been doing this a lot longer than me in terms of strength training, so there's no fucking way you have. I've never ever done a strength, not even 1 week of strength training.
Yeah.
I focus mainly on hypertrophy, but it's like me trying to compare, even even the fact that you're a couple kilos heavier than me, it's me trying to compare my strength to you.
Well, see, that's another thing. Like your friend that you were talking about there, who's like your physique but a little bit smaller, what have you. Like he might then compare his journey, his chapter 1, to me now.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm double your weight. And if I was to go,
I only weigh 15 kilos, by the way.
And if I was to go into the gym with him,
Dave's pretty shredded.
He might then sit there and go, "Oh, shit! I'm not going to deadlift 200 kilos like that guy is. I'm not going to do it."
Yeah.
So, but that's his. Like he's on chapter 1. He may only need to deadlift 40 kilos.
Exactly.
Like to start out with. Like everybody starts out somewhere.
I think everyone forgets that everyone starts out in the same place. Everyone starts.
This is true.
Not knowing how to lift, or the amount. Have you had like the amount of fucking exercises you don't do now, which you used to do? Is incredible. How many arm days you did in comparison now? I think it's all a learning curve, and the more you do it, that's one thing. Like I don't vlog much at the moment. I've got this camera. This is a £600 camera. This is a £50 mic, and I say 20. It's like a £15 tripod.
Ooh, look at me! I've got so much money.
Mate, this is on finance. I got this like 2-3 weeks ago to start vlogging. Every morning I wake up with an idea of how I want to start it, but I don't. Mainly for the sheer fact that I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it.
See, this is another thing, right? I'm just going to backtrack a little bit.
It's an M6, by the way.
I'm just going to backtrack a little bit and say that when it comes to like people comparing their chapter 1 to other people's chapter 20, and people don't want to fail. No. People see failure as like a loss,
a bad thing.
They see it as a loss, a mistake, and it's like shit. I couldn't do that. Whatever, blah blah blah. Nobody then sits there and goes, right, well, why did I fail at that, and what can I do to not fail at it again?
Yes, this is another good point. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to elaborate on your point. My friend doing driving lessons at the moment is the exact same thing. Every time they come back from a driving lesson and they've had a bad one, so obviously you have it in your driving lessons where you go like 4 or 5 hours where you don't make any progress and fuck up.
Yeah.
I did it. I thought, what did I do wrong? How to improve? They come back saying they've cried, they felt bad about it. I'm like, that's the wrong mindset to have. You need to think, why did it go wrong and what can you improve on? And that, in and of itself, will help you build confidence, because you're improving on what you failed on, and failure is just that stepping stone.
True. And I mean, insecurity comes from anxiety, and anxiety comes from a mindset. So if your mindset is that you're not good at anything, you're not going to achieve anything, like everything's super hard to do, and you're not going to be able to like progress with anything, you're not going to do anything. So anxiety is going to feed into your insecurities, and your insecurities are then going to stop you from doing things.
And that brings me back around to the whole vlogging thing. Well, I haven't done it.
To the whole vlogging thing.
I don't know what to do.
Exactly. You don't know what to do, and it might be that you feel like you're going to look like a bit of a dickhead if you're walking out of your house talking to a camera like this, and you get someone walk past, and then you're going to be like, oh.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the worst things you can do as a vlogger. Yeah. Is when someone walks past and you like sort of cry, because they just look like a wet wipe. Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same reason that I haven't started doing it. Because I've said for ages and ages and ages now, I'm like, I'm going to start a vlog and everything's going to be great, and I just don't do it for the anxiety of people looking at me and sort of like judging me and things like that. And now I say I don't give a shit what people think. Like I don't give a fuck what people think. In certain aspects, and then it comes down to things like this, and then a lot of people put it down to laziness. So they sit there and like, I say I'm going to record a vlog, I don't do it. People then go, he's just lazy.
I do that to myself.
He just couldn't be bothered. Yeah. And to me, sometimes it feels like I'm lazy and that I can't be bothered. But in actual fact, it's not. It's just like the anxiety of filming and then potentially being judged or whatever, of being sort of brought back into like the anxiety of everything just being put into it. And then you just go, I don't really want to do it now because I've worked myself up to this point, and I'm now not gonna do it, because you've worked yourself up so much that you're then just like you're exhausted, you're knackered. So it does feed into laziness. And what are you doing?
I'm trying to set this up so I can get some B-roll footage of us doing a podcast. If you can't see this on camera, I'll let Dave explain what's going on.
So basically, Connor's got a clothes rail in his room, and he's trying to attach a tripod to one of the sides of it with his camera on top of it. And I cannot wait for that camera to fall over, because you're going to cry. But yeah, I mean, everybody's scared of failing, and everybody's got anxiety about something, and that's part of like the social structure that we have nowadays, is that anxiety is seen as accepted, and anxiety is seen as just part of the norm, when it's not part of the norm.
The norm
like,
is fucked at the moment.
Like it's not part of, well, I mean, it's part of the norm in the sense of everybody has anxiety, but they don't necessarily have to. Like, there are things that you can do to sort of help yourself. Like, recently I've had like a pretty shit time recently.
Yeah.
So I've started doing 10 minutes of meditation every night. And now,
is that any good?
And now,
I always see people do it in the morning or at night.
Yeah. So, and I'm not sat there cross-legged on the top of a mountain with some incense burning going,
I don't know if that's racist or not.
That's the stereotype when someone says meditating. People sit there and think they're just going to close their eyes for 2 hours, sit there, cross their legs, burn some incense and be like, and it's not.
And feel zen.
Yeah. So I downloaded an app called Headspace. I saw it on a YouTube ad and I was like, shit, I'm going to download
what
that.
What YouTube ad? Call them out.
I don't know. It was a Headspace ad.
I
don't know what the video was I was watching. Don't know what video I was watching. But yeah, so I downloaded this, and it literally, you take 10 minutes out of your day, you sit there on a chair, on your bed, whatever, you close your eyes and you listen to it for 10 minutes. Well, you don't close your eyes to begin with, but it gets you to close your eyes for 10 minutes. And it just teaches you that all of your thoughts that are going through your head, because anxiety comes from a build-up of like thoughts and stuff like that, to accept that they're there, but it's like you're stood on the side of a road.
Yeah.
So rather than trying to stop all the traffic, it's just watching the traffic go by. So your thoughts are the cars, and you are stood on the side of the road. And you're just watching them go by. Acknowledging that they're there, but watching them go by. Rather than trying to run out into the road, stop them all and control it all, and just acknowledge that they're there. And like I said, I started it a couple of days ago. I've done 3 or 4 of them, and I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Just taking 10 minutes to myself every night.
It's 10 minutes, it's nothing.
Exactly, it's 10 minutes. I don't text anyone, I don't have the TV on, I close my door, like, I don't talk to anyone for that 10 minutes. That 10 minutes is mine. And it's brilliant. You feel so much better afterwards. You're like, shit, that was really good. I've actually had 10 minutes to myself where I've not done anything. Not spoken to anyone, I've had some me time. And it feels really good. Like, so, yeah, that I would recommend that to anyone. It's 10 minutes. Everyone can afford 10 minutes. I don't care how busy you are.
If you haven't got 10 minutes of your 10 minutes a day, you haven't got a life.
Yeah, most people will spend more time than that on the toilet.
Oh yeah, I always do.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes. You can do 10 minutes a day.
Damn, wise words from Dave. So, what have you ever had to deal with sort of anyone giving you judgmental looks inside or outside the gym? So, say for example, you walk in, because this is a point from one of my friends who is leaner than you in the greatest.
Everyone's leaner than me.
Possible. And I think this...
I've got the body fat percentage of Swiss cheese, so...
True. But actually, talking about my friend, I think there's an insecurity other than just gym itself being physical. There's also the mindset of like being insecure about what you eat and the relations with food. Yeah. But let's touch on that in 2 seconds. All right. Finish this off.
All right. We'll finish a point first.
But he won't wear... Like, I say he's sitting about 14 to 15% body fat. Mm-hmm. He used to be 20 stone or something. 20 stone. He's now like 14. He's lost a shit ton. But he won't wear a vest, or you know the vest you were wearing earlier.
Yeah.
He won't wear anything like that outside the gym, or in the gym, because of the way that he feels people are going to stare at him.
Yeah.
Now let's get one thing clear: the majority of the people in the gym, unless you are a woman, aren't going to be fucking staring at you. They do not care about you.
Yeah. Unless
you are acting like a dick or doing something of note.
Yes.
That they'll look at.
And if they are, that's more a reflection on them than it is on you.
They're probably insecure.
Yeah.
But it's the sense that he's not comfortable wearing that inside or outside the gym, but you are.
Yeah. Now, I never used to be. When I used to always wear baggy t-shirts, and it would always be t-shirts that would cover everything and whatnot. And then I started properly training, I guess. So I trained for like, I don't know how long it was, but I started training, and then I started seeing some definition, and I started getting more comfortable. And then I kind of mixed it in with what I was wearing before. So
you were waiting for that to fall over as well?
I was kind of waiting for that to fall over. So I mixed it in. So the very first vest I bought is one I was wearing earlier.
Yeah.
And it's a baggy vest, right? So I've got love handles, and I hate them.
Got a lot of love though.
Whenever I wear t-shirts, especially like this, it's quite a tight-fitting t-shirt.
Show it off to the camera.
Super cardio. It's by the Team Smiley on Instagram. If you can tag them, they'll love
I'll
it.
tag them. They sponsored the video.
I wish they did.
No, they did.
That'd be amazing.
They went. We know El Davo's coming on your podcast.
El Davo,
like, can we sponsor it?
That would be
I
amazing.
went, yeah. They want all the proceeds to go to you, but
We'll 50-50. It's
no,
fine.
70-30.
70 to me.
Yeah,
I'm 70% bigger than you are, so.
true.
I
cry every time.
What was I saying? Yeah. So the very first vest I bought, I was on holiday in Italy, and I found it in a shop, and it was a baggy vest. Didn't show off my love handles, and I could see like decent shoulder definition.
Yep.
Saw a bit of chest definition, and like I'd been training for quite a while, so my arms looked good. I put it on, and I was like, fuck yeah, I feel great. Like, and I felt amazing in this
Feel
vest.
empowered.
Yeah, I was like, shit me, I look the dog's bollocks right now. Like, and so I bought it and started wearing that. So that for me, it was like a light switch moment when I put that on and I was like, yeah, I look really good in this. So then it motivated me more to work a little bit harder. So I worked a little bit harder, lost a little bit more weight, and then eventually I started buying cut-offs. Because I was like, I still don't like my midriff.
Do you own any cut-offs?
Yeah,
I've seen you in a cut-off.
Yeah, I've got a couple of cut-offs.
I think last time.
Check out my Instagram at Dave_Harradine.
Do you want to train tonight? Or have you trained already?
I haven't trained yet.
Do you want to train?
Maybe.
Back and biceps.
I did back yesterday, but
Chest.
Maybe.
Chest.
Maybe it was supposed to be leg day, but we could do a quick session.
Yeah.
Depends. I've got some stuff to do.
I was meant to train today or this morning, but I didn't. To be fair, I've got another code that you can use. We'll take the camera in there, get a few shots in the gym.
Sick. Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, so then I started buying a couple of cut-offs, and like I'm still not confident enough to walk around shirtless. Like, because I've still got a belly.
He
still
says
got love
that,
handles.
but he was half naked in my room earlier.
Yeah, but like I wasn't out in the street. Like
You should have been.
Like I'm quite.
I
like,
reckon the ladies would have fucking.
They might have
fell to
done.
their knees.
They might have done. Ovaries might have
And
exploded.
I can't have that much attention at this doorstep. I've already got
hordes and
Mark
hordes.
Zuckerberg banging on the door wanting to sponsor me.
Oh, evil Mark. Ooh.
You just got the Zuckerberg.
But yeah, so and then I started buying cut-offs because I felt a little bit more confident in them because my shoulders started developing, my biceps started developing, and then it just like sort of switched in my head, and I was like, do you know what? I can wear vests and I can wear cut-off t-shirts as long as they fit correctly.
Do you reckon it gets easier the more you wear it?
100%, 110%. Like I will happily go out now, outside, in a cut-off or in a vest.
So you've made your own sort of progression in your own journey from
and
sort of being insecure about wearing them to now doing it.
Yeah, and it all started by finding the right vest. It sounds like really stupid, but finding the right cut, the right fit. So like if you've got love handles like I have and you've got a bit of a belly,
buy more of a boxy sort of.
Yeah, you want one that will sort of like it will cut off and it will start again where your
midsection is.
Yeah, kind of like just sort of what's the obliques, that's the one. Like it will start sort of just below your obliques.
What's an
and will box
oblique?
Down. Oblique.
Is that a shape? What? That's a square.
What? You're thinking of oblong.
That's it.
You're oblique. You know the muscles.
I was being funny.
Here. God damn it! But anyway, yeah. So they'll start there, and it'll be like a nice boxy shape, and it'll rather than cutting in, which a lot of fitness clothes do, and that's a big thing. Is when you order from places like Gymshark, you order from places like Alpha League.
Don't say that!
You order from places, any like fitness clothing.
Chicken, he was only joking.
No, but like any fitness clothing.
No, I get you.
Because they're for athletes and they're for people that train, they usually
that sort of
they will V-taper in. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
But I think for most people.
But if you're a bigger person, if you're fat like me, then you don't want it to V-taper in. Because if you've got love handles, it will squish your love handles.
Emphasise them, and that's not something you want.
And if you don't want to draw attention to that, or if you're worried that you're going to draw attention to that, don't wear that type of clothing. Just get like a boxy fit type vest or t-shirt, and that will sort you out. Damn. That's how I started wearing vests.
Wise words. Now I just need to transfer that over to my podcast, to my vlogging. What we'll do after this is we'll go to Tesco's and pick up an SD card, and you can film me in Tesco's.
I'll film you in Tesco's. See, that's the thing. If there's two of you,
it's a lot easier.
You will feel so much less like take the for example, the last time we
were
in the gym.
Oh,
you were doing you were doing some like triceps or something like that, and like because there was two of us, I had your camera, I James Bond rolled so I could get a better angle. Like
I stood on a weight and dumbbell in the free weight section.
Yeah,
taking pictures.
And the whole like there were people in that gym there when I did that looked at me and laughed. Now, because there was two of us, it was fine. If there was one of us and it was just me being a dickhead on my own, then I'd have been like, shit.
What the
people
fuck's that kid rolling around in the gym for?
Yeah, people are like, oh, I'd have been like, oh, people are looking at me, they're laughing at me, whatever. But because there was two of us and because we were doing something like funny together,
yeah, it makes
it a lot easier.
I think so. In terms of like, so we've spoken a lot about like insecurities and like what sort of triggers them. So now, what would you recommend to someone to build confidence in themselves? Like, and this could be for like building confidence in them being out in public.
The first thing you'd need to do is to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
And find out what is causing that insecurity or that anxiety.
Yeah.
Once you've found out what it is,
you can start to tackle it.
You can start to find out how you can find a way to
turn that negative,
get over it, or to start on your journey to recovery, as it were. So I think that's the first step. The next step after that is to then decide how you're going to tackle it.
Yeah. And
then just start implementing little changes. It's not going to happen overnight.
I think that's the same thing with back to me and the whole vlogging thing. I'm like,
back to you.
And always about, it's my fucking podcast. And it's the same thing that like, I have like, because I watch a lot of fitness YouTubers and I'm like, well, they go in the gym with their camera and they're speaking to it and there's loads of people around them. I'm like, that's what I have to do. But it could just be as simple as taking the tripod off, taking the fucking mic off, putting the camera down, not talking to it, and just filming and then doing a commentary.
Yeah.
But
or not even necessarily doing a commentary. Like if your anxiety, like so for instance, if your anxiety is vlogging, and this goes back to the comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You're watching some fitness YouTubers and they're in the gym and they're like, what's up guys? I'm doing deadlifts and everything's great and everything's lovely. And you're like, I need to be doing that. But to get to that point, if you've got anxiety about it, you actually need to get into the gym and film.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be talking to the camera. You can just film some stuff. So you start by filming, and then eventually you can build up to talking. Then you can build, like, just talking to the camera, for instance, at home or whatever. And then you could build up to talking in public into your camera, and then maybe take it into the gym. Like, and it won't be an overnight process. Like, I put it down to the thing of like losing weight.
Yeah. So
I'm 25. It's taken me 25 years to get the body fat consistency of Swiss cheese. I'm not going to lose that in 2 weeks.
Oh no.
Like, so I've had 25 years of building up the anxiety of not talking to a camera in public or whatever, or not doing it, or it being alien to me, and not necessarily liking new things. It's not going to happen overnight that I'm just going to change it. I'm not just going to wake up one morning and go, fuck me, I'm cured. I'm going to start talking to a camera.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think that's me personally. That's something I'm dealing with at the moment.
Taking baby steps is what you need to do.
Hey. But I thought you were going to say something, to be fair.
I was waiting on you. I was waiting on your cue.
But you know, that's something that I'm gonna have to do. That's something that I personally, and this is what I mean, like, insecurity isn't just about going in, like, not being able to go into the gym. It's about like doing stuff in public. Maybe you don't like vlogging in public. Maybe you don't like wearing certain clothing in public, or maybe you don't like going oh shit, what else would there be? Like going to certain
it could be anything. Could be getting on public transport.
Going into like GNC or something and you're overweight.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be fitness. It could be getting on public transport.
Yeah.
It could be using a public toilet. It could be talking to your boss at work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, or just talking to new people.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Talking to women, that's mine.
And like it literally could be, I mean, it could be something as simple as, I don't know, you live in a shared house and you're using the kitchen. Like, and, you know, it doesn't have to be fitness related. Okay, if you want it to be fitness related, it could be something like you say, being overweight going into GNC, being underweight going into GNC.
Yep.
Like, or looking in the mirror and being happy with where you're at. Or not necessarily being happy with where you're at, but being proud of how far you've come. because everyone looks at where they want to be. So, and nobody looks at where they've come from. Like, you'll see on Instagram, everyone's like, "Oh, Transformation Tuesday! Look how great I've done." But then their next post will be, "Oh, I'm so fat."
Yeah. Like, well, that just contradicts what you've just said.
Yeah. So, like,
if you're going to talk about your transformation,
yeah, the thing is, yeah, I mean, the thing is, everyone will look at sort of how far they've got to go, and they won't look at how far they've come.
You could have 50 miles. You could have like 10 miles left of a marathon, but you've run 15.
Exactly.
And all you're thinking is, "I've got 10 left."
Exactly.
Fucking hell.
Exactly, and this is that's actually something that I've tried to sort of challenge in the gym. So when it comes to doing,
I thought you said it meant about doing a marathon. Then I was like, fucking kudos to you.
No. So like when it comes to doing reps, I'm not great at repping anything out. Like if anyone tells me I'm doing anything more than 5, I'm like, "Why am I doing cardio?" So when it comes to doing like reps of like 20 or sets of 20 or whatever, by the time I'm hitting 11 or 12, I'm completely like knackered. But then something in my brain goes, "Well, you're over halfway."
Yeah.
So
you've got like 2 left.
Yeah. So like, what's the point in stopping? You've already done half of it. You might as well finish. So, and it's just getting into that mindset where you're like, "Do you know what? I'm not gonna let this, whatever it is, stop me from getting what I want to get."
Yeah.
And that's another thing actually. Your drive and determination to do whatever it is that your anxiety's stopping you doing has to outweigh that.
I reckon it's one of those things where you have to, as cliche as it sounds, like you said, you just start, no matter where it is. There was a video that I watched the other day, and it's these 2 people. It was a podcast, actually, by, Lex Griffin.
Lex Griffin?
Yeah, he's doing a podcast with his wife.
He's my body goals.
He is my goals. And him and his wife were talking about just doing stuff. Shit, where was I going with this?
Just starting?
Yeah. And they talked about like that was it. So a question that they got asked from one of the live feeds was like, what advice would you give to someone, or what recommendations would you give to someone to lose weight? And it's such a vague question because there's so much you could give, and it's so subjective that the only advice you can give is start with something simple, like tracking your food and at least going to the gym. No matter what you're doing in the gym, no matter what food you are eating, track it so you have an idea of where you need to be going, and that can be transferred over and translate over to anything.
Yeah.
Same thing with like going into the gym. Go into the gym twice, do two full body workouts. Or go for a run outside. Don't buy all these fitness clothing and fucking Under Armour and expecting to go into the gym and feel a lot better about having that clothing.
Yeah.
It's about how you feel. And it's just about...
Although saying that, whenever I've got new gym clothing, I always feel a bit better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
I'm
Makes you feel empowered.
You're like, I'm looking good.
Do you know what I mean about like the New Year's resolutions that go in on the January sale, buy a bunch of this clothing and think, I'm going to spend £200 and be able to do it. Yeah, you've got to make the investment of time before you make an investment of money.
True. And a lot of people will sit there and they'll be like, "Well, you say just start, but I don't know where to start." And it's like, well...
Just start.
If you've got an interest in something, you'll have a baseline idea of whatever it is.
Yeah.
Say, it doesn't have to be fitness. Say you've got an interest in painting. You will have an interest in painting, so you will know that you need paints and something to paint on.
Just buy cheap paint and the cheapest brushes and canvases and just go.
You will know you will need something to paint with and something to paint on.
That for 100%.
And then
what you get doesn't matter.
Yeah,
as long as you have it.
Yeah, and then the more that you get into it, the more you can realise that the more, or your passion, if you're passionate about it and it's something for you, you will then start to learn more about it. So you'll start to learn about watercolours, oil paints.
You start to learn the terminology and what
painting on canvas, painting on wall, painting on paper or whatever. Like
the difference between them.
Yeah, and you will start to learn more and more and more about it the more that you're involved in it.
It's like when you're new to fitness and all you do is start off with tracking your macro or tracking calories as you'd know them, and doing your workout. Then you understand. Then you you see a word macros. What are macros on YouTube? Watch a video about it, and then you're like, so protein, carbs, and fats are all separate things.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, benefits of a high protein diet, and then it takes you on to all these other videos, and you're like,
it takes you on to keto, and you're like,
and then you may see a link of like HIIT and list cardio, and you're like, shit, there's more than just one type of cardio.
Yeah.
And then you start to learn, and that again, like we said earlier, knowledge, building confidence.
True, but then the idea of that is, yes, the more that you get into it, the more you will learn. But it's also a thing of not trying to overload yourself.
Oh yeah, no.
So
yeah.
because there are things like in fitness where you can sit there and you can go, well, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what to do, and then you'll find one video and it'll explain something, and then you'll see 15 more videos explaining 15 different things, and it feels a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
But rather than looking at all of those 15 things, focus on one.
Yeah. It's like
then move on to like.
It's like when I did my level 4 diploma in advanced nutrition, I understood protein, carbs, and fats. What I didn't understand was polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, the difference, and sort of carbs went from just being carbohydrates and then the basics of simple and complex, slow release and fast release, sugars and other ones, polyunsaturated. It then went into mono, and then you're like, what the fuck? And it's the thing that if you don't understand carbohydrates or painting in general, then if you try and rush into, if you don't know how to paint and you try and think, what's the difference between water and watercolors and shit like this? You're not going to know because you have no idea what your fucking baseline is.
True. And I mean, it's like trying not to run before you can walk. However, what I will say is that if you are getting into fitness and you're thinking, what's a polysaturated fat? What's a monosaturated fat? What's
doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That is the 1%.
Yeah.
The 99% is getting into the gym, watching your calories, and you will start to notice a difference.
A lot of people
do they do get caught up in this 1%. So what you don't need to necessarily focus on trans fats and saturated and things like that.
Healthy and all this sort of shit.
To an extent, you don't need to get caught up in macros.
No.
If you're just starting out, you don't need to worry about that. You need to worry about, I need to eat this many calories and I need to work out this many times a day or this many times a week.
It's like going into a workout and thinking, it's like wanting to go to the gym, but you don't know what training split you need to be on and what exercises you need to do.
Again,
and then
that's the 1%.
And then you put yourself off. So
actually, that's probably more than 1%, but
a lot more. And then you've not gone to the gym because you haven't got 100% idea of what you need to do.
So you've talked yourself out.
You've talked yourself out of it. Yeah. But the idea is just go into the gym. Do any exercise that you can think of, regardless of if it's a back with a chest exercise and you do a bicep. Get in there and try it.
Yeah.
And then build from there. It doesn't matter if you go into the gym and you're doing an arm day and you do the only two exercises you can think of are doing hammer curls and bicep curls. Go in and do them.
Yeah.
Just do more sets of them or do what you can.
Yeah.
And then improve from there. You don't need to know the exact training split that you need to go on straight away or that
100%.
is best for you, or you don't need to know your exact workout. Exercise for exercise. Eventually there will become a point where that will happen.
Yeah.
But at the start, so many people are like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do in there, so I'm not going to bother. Well, go in there. You'll see someone doing an exercise, and then you'll think, I'll do that.
Yeah, and it's a case of if you don't go to the gym, you'll then dwell about it, and you'll think, shit, I didn't go to the gym. Yeah.
I'll start Monday.
Yeah, I'm still fat, or I'm still skinny, or I still don't look the way I want to look. And then you're going, I'm not going to do it now. I didn't go to the gym today, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you go, you'll go, and even if you have no idea what you're doing, you go to the gym and you go, do you know what? I didn't go in there with a plan, but I still worked out. I feel good about that. You'll then go, okay, so how can I then make that better?
No.
So what can I do next time that means I don't go in there without a plan?
Yeah.
We've got the internet nowadays, and the internet is the greatest thing ever. It has every bit of information you could ever need on it. And there are so many people you can either just talk to, or you can just do a simple Google search, or anything like that. And when people say, because a lot of people say to me, oh, what training split should I be on? And I'm like, just try one.
Yeah.
Try one for 6 weeks, see how it works.
If you don't like it, try another one.
If you don't like it, or you don't see the results you want to see from it, try another one. But people don't want to invest that time. They want
quick results there and then.
Yeah, they want the magic one that's going to that's going to make them shredded now, and that's it. That's all they want. And it's it's not how it works. No. Because a push pull legs might work for me, but might not work for you. So, and my macro breakdown or my calories wouldn't work for you, or your calories wouldn't work for me, depending on different goals and things. So there's a lot of variance, but it's easy to find out what you need to find out.
Yep.
It is literally a Google search.
Just start somewhere and then go from there.
Yeah, so literally, if you're just starting out in the gym, the first thing you should Google search is
Fitness.
What should my calories be? And then it will probably give you a link to somewhere like bodybuilding.com, which will give you a calorie calculator. You put in your height, your weight, whatever. It gives you your calories. Write them down somewhere.
And stick to them.
And stick to them. And then you will, and depending on what you want, so if you want to lose weight, eat less than those calories. If you want to gain weight, eat more than those calories.
And then go from there.
Yeah, and then if you're struggling with a gym program and you don't have anyone that you go to the gym with, or you can't afford a personal trainer or whatever, Google training program.
And a free one.
Bodybuilding.com
has 2 free training programs: Blueprint to Cut and Blueprint to Strength.
Yeah,
a strength and weight loss program. But we're coming up to sort of the end of this podcast now. But
it's been fun.
It has been fun. It's been a journey. I think that's what I said in my first one as well. But we've kind of the whole common denominator of building confidence is you need to know where your insecurities are coming from and make a start on just, no matter how small these steps are.
Take baby steps.
Whether it's just vlogging in your bedroom, in your car, doing some B-roll that you've never done before, no matter how shit you think it's gonna look, and uploading a gonna upload a vlog, a crap vlog. It's a start.
Yeah,
it's genuinely a start.
I mean, you can take constructive criticism from that, and you can build on that. But yeah, take baby steps, and just if you need to talk to someone about it, talk to someone.
Exactly.
But just send someone a DM on Instagram.
Yeah. Slide into their DMs.
Just literally DM a random person on Instagram and just talk shit to them for a whole paragraph. Just talk shit and just send it to them.
Beat you up.
Because you're never gonna meet them.
Exactly. It'd just be an internet warrior. But we thank you for listening. Well, if you're on SoundCloud, thank you for listening to the last 40 minutes or so to this podcast. We appreciate your listen. And if you're on SoundCloud and you want to kind of watch this, as I always do, I always film this and put it on my YouTube channel on the Monday after this goes up. So if you want to wait till then, go over there and check it out on my YouTube channel.
You can see how sexy I am.
Yeah. You'll see how sexy he is. Dave's YouTube channel is going to be the link in the description, so go check his channel out.
Just search Dave Harradine.
Yeah, he does sort of tutorials on setting up squats and bench press and a programming video you did. So it's very good, very informative channel. So thank you for listening to this week. Next week I'm going to be doing a podcast on negativity and dealing with negative mindsets and sort of cutting toxic relationships out.
Oh man, can I come back for that one?
Maybe.
Sick.
That's something that I have to deal with. But anyway, thanks for listening to this week, guys. Appreciate it. And until next time, want to say any final words, Dave?
Yeah, check out my Instagram and Twitter at Dave_Harradine or just Dave Harradine. HARRADINE. Hit me up.
Boy.
I'll follow you back.
He won't. He'll unfollow you 2 days later when you've not even noticed it.
I hate that.
You've given my secret.
I hate people that do that. I
do it. I think that's why a lot of my Instagram followers unfollow me, because I just don't follow them back.
You're the worst.
Have
a good day. Have a good training session. Have a good week. Have a good life. And hit me up if you ever want to talk.
And we'll see you next time.